Right quick. It's not saying if I'm live or anything right now, so I don't know. All right. There we go. Shalom, I'm starting here shortly. All right, Shalom, this brother Yuan. I want to say, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rikah Kadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say Shalom to all the brothers who are pursuing this truth in sincerity, all right? May the blessing of election be upon your house, all right? Title of this lesson is a quick lesson, man. It's called Watch Your Mouth. You want to guard what you're saying in this truth. You don't want to be likened unto the 2/3 of our people, man. Just the people in the world. And a lot of times they don't know the things that they're saying or doing or is wickedness because they don't read. But that doesn't leave them without excuse. You have men here to correct you that the Lord set up. And you're going to have to give an account for everything that you speak, man. Whether it be good or bad. And you don't want to you don't want to just be saying things and you don't know that it's off. Which is why it's important to read, to seek counsel, and to not be offended by the counsel. What the scripture say in Corinthians, although I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge. Okay? It's okay to be corrected. It's okay to be checked every now and then. That's a part of this thing. We're like babies. We're learning. You gotta check a baby when they're going off. Let's go to Matthew 12. And 36 really quick, just to go into what I quoted. All right. Hey, shalom you all. Okay. Matthew 12 and 36, it says, "But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall give, so like every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment." Man, you don't want to have unnecessary judgment upon your head. So guard the things you say. Guard your eyes and ears, man. People look at certain things like it's just a small matter. No, man. Those little things, those little habits, those little things that you do and say that are off, they turn into big things, man. Let's go to Proverbs 4:19. God, come on, man. 4:19, right? Proverbs 4:19, it reads, "The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble." And that goes into me saying earlier that, a lot of people in the world, they don't know that the things that they're saying are off. But they're without excuse because the Lord has set up his men on the highways and byways. Their line is going out throughout all the earth. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. So, yeah, they're without excuse, man. It's right there in this book, man. The men of the Lord are telling them right from wrong. Because the people don't know right from wrong. Continuing on, verse 20. "My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings." Not what you think is a big deal and what's not, right? Verse 21. "Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart." Right? So the things that the Most High sees as wicked or that he's against, you start to mold and become against those very same things. That's how you know that that you're seeking him with the whole heart. Because your perspective and his concerns become your concerns. All right. Verse 22. "For they are life unto those that find them." And that's what we seek. He said what? The Lord told us he laid before us life and death. Choose life, man. "For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence." All right, with all diligence, and we went into diligence in the live stream earlier. "With all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Put away," and there's the point here I want it. "Put away from thee a froward mouth and perverse lips. Put far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on." Don't be on the straight and narrow, man. Don't be wavering from side to side. And I see you guys putting the comments up on the comment board. I'll get to them shortly. And let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. All right, man. So your mind should be on these things. And if your mind is on the things that the Lord commanded you, man, you'll make a lot less mistakes. Guaranteed. Okay? And I mentioned the fact that those little things turn into big things. So I got to back that up with James, the 3rd chapter. Okay? James, let's go to it really quick, guys. James 3. We'll start at 5, okay? It says, even so the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. Okay? You could slip up. If we're on the highways and byways and we slip up and say one thing wrong, the people that are learning, a perfect example. Adam Abbott and his crew. They say, the mark of the beast isn't the chip, but you shouldn't be getting anything cut in your flesh. A Jake will hear that and use it as an excuse to take the mark, and he'll feel less guilty about taking it because he'll say, well, Adam Abbott said it's not the mark of the beast, so I took it just to get by. I figured the Lord would forgive me. No, because the RFID chip is the mark of the beast, and it's not something that you could be forgiven for. So you really got to be careful. We really got to be careful with the things that we say, and we're gonna have to answer for everything that we say. That's why we tell you that these other groups and these other men that aren't coming in 100% truth, they have blood on their hands, plain and simple. All right, verse 6. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on the fire the course of nature, and setteth on fire the course of nature. It can destroy your whole path. Another example, Aaron and Moses, when they split the rock for that to give water unto Israel, and they said, must we split this rock for to give you water? Because they lacked the faith that the Lord was actually going to do it. So they said, must we? And they didn't give glory to the Most High for doing it. The Most High did what? He killed Aaron. That mistake there changed his whole course. That set his whole course of nature ablaze. You see? So it's very important to be guarding your mouth. To be watching what you say. Because you're going to answer for it. All right? Well, let's jump to verse 10. I want to read that, then we'll leave off of this. It says, out of the same mouth proceedeth blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not so to be. All right? So blessings and cursings come from the things that you speak. And if you're a person that's seeking wisdom and that is after wisdom, rivers of living water is going to come out of your mouth, out of your belly, right? Not things that are contrary to the spirit. Proverbs 21 and 23. That's where we're going to go. Touch on most of these, I guess. Proverbs 21 and 23. It reads, whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. All right. Now let's go to James 1 and 26. Go get that. James, Dang it. Just passed it. James 1:26. If any man among you seem to be religious and bridleth not his tongue, meaning he doesn't have control, he don't have a filter like they say in the world. He doesn't properly judge a matter before he speaks. He doesn't think before he speaks. What? Deceiveth his own heart. This man's religion is vain. All right? Now let's go to 1 Peter 3 and 10. 1 Peter 3 and 10 says, for he that Salakia. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile. Let him eschew evil and do good. Let him seek peace and ensue it. So you're going to be careful with the things that you're saying. When you do make this mistake, man, you're going to repent for it. And you're going to do it in sincerity, man, and in humbleness. It's Proverbs 18 and 21. You guys hear me okay? Let me know if you guys are hearing me okay. Proverbs 18:21. It says, death and life, except before you blessing and life and death, right? Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. All right, now let's go to Proverbs 29 and 20. Proverbs 29 and 20. Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than of him. A man that doesn't think before he speaks. Because you know that you're going to have to answer for everything that you say. So you're contemplating, how do I approach this? And that's why it's always good to stick to the script and to say what the Lord says, so that you're not saying things that are contrary to him. And that's why you have to read. That's why you got to have this in the forefront of your mind, man, so that you're not speaking any guile. Now let's go to Proverbs 17:27. Get you guys with a bunch of these on guarding your tongue and speaking the right things. Proverbs 17:27. He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and the man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. He that hath knowledge spareth his words. Why? Because he don't want to say anything that's contrary, or anything that can be taken as contrary to the words. Even if, even on the highways and byways, you may say something, and we'll say Salakia and try to say it a better way so that people don't get confused, so it's not mistaken for something else. Because we want to abstain from what? All appearance of evil. Even if you say something that may sound off, but you didn't mean it that way, you want to abstain from all appearances of evil. And the last precept I want to bring out is we're going to go to Proverbs, the 6th chapter and the 16th verse. We'll start there, and then that'll pretty much be it for the lesson. Okay? Oh, and the brother has a beautiful precept. I'm going to read it off the comment board. It's Shapatia, Yahweh has judged. All right? Yeah. Jehoshaphat. All right. This is Sirach 19:16. It says, there is one that slipped in his speech, but not from his heart. And who is he that have not offended with his tongue? It went exactly what I read, what I was speaking on earlier. GMS Denver puts up Matthew 15 and 11. All right, and that reads, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth the man. They were trying to get on the Pharisees because they were saying, oh, the disciples, they don't wash their hands when they eat. But he was like, hey, man, it's the doctrine and things that they're speaking to the people where it really matters. All right, the doctrine they come out with. Are they saying the things that the Lord said and not being hypocrites like the Pharisees, right? Okay, and now GMS Denver also puts up Proverbs 18 and 6. Yep, and this is beautiful. I missed this one. I went through all the ones I found in Proverbs, but I think I missed this one. Okay, let's read it here straight off the comment board. Now GMS Denver puts up, a fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. Yeah, the things that, that you say, the Lord keeps they say a naughty and nice list. He keeps a list of all those things, and you have to answer for them. Even though you may not have meant something a certain way, the Lord's going to take account for it. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. Beautiful precept, brother. All right? So I want to read this here. Proverbs 6 and 16. That's where we're going to start. It says, these 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him. Verse 17, a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, and feet that be swift to running to mischief. And the feet that be swift to running to mischief, you could talk about, hey, man, all these jakes out here following the multitude to do evil, man. The Lord hates those things. There's characteristics that the Lord hates, and you want to refrain from those things. All right, 19, a false witness that speak of lies, people gossiping and spreading things that aren't true. That's another thing that the Lord hates. You want to refrain from being involved with that of any form. And he that soweth discord among brethren, instigating. 20, verse 20, my son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother. All right, bind them continually upon thine heart, your mind, in the forefront of your mind, and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. When thou wakest, it shall talk with thee. Yeah, man. So this should be continually in the forefront of your mind. And those that keep these things continually in the forefront of their mind, they're not offending the Most High. Those are the people that the Lord going to deliver when everything hits the fan, because they truly love him. They hate the things that he hates. This same perspective that the Lord has on situations or things, you have that perspective. The same things the Lord gets frustrated about, you get frustrated about. And for those people, the Lord's going to what? Let's get it. In Isaiah here, this is Isaiah 26 and 20, because this is what we seek to have, man. Deliverance. So this Isaiah 26 and 20, it says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut the doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. Sin upon sin, man. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. You know? So that's it on that. Ooh, brother Kabar puts up Proverbs 18:21. We read it, but we'll read it again. Okay? This is Proverbs 18:21. It says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So that pretty much, I brought out maybe 20 of them for you guys to have that understanding, man. To watch your mouth. All right? So with that being said, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the brothers and the few sisters that listen who are pursuing this truth in sincerity with the whole heart. May the blessing of election be upon your house. All right? Shalom.